Today, on this occasion of the Shotsuki service for the month of August, members of our temple family have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages, Namo Kie Butsu, Namo Kie Ho, Namo Kie So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nambutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Shotsukihoyo
遠い極楽報告修上無宿単純省楽光明極楽舎利法極楽国土七十単純七十羅門七十五十改正四法重相異量税公利国明万極楽舎利法極楽国土無心装置悪徳水十万五中地大順理本社無事四変改良本言ルリありご上道路各役位本言ルリあり社交釈衆名の二言自死自中連芸大行者に小式証拠大式要項釈式釈項逆式白項微妙公説者利法極楽国土上十行税武力将軍仏者利法異部国土調査天学黄金二次昼夜六時理由曼荼羅家五国修上上位小丹各位英国小修行家無用他法十万の仏即位直次元上本国本自教教者利法極楽国土上十両税武力将軍仏師者利法異国上部集中奇妙雑式市場学校愚着法部者利下領賓が愚妙市長税商州長長や六時水和下音五音延長五根五力七五大分合唱道分納税東方合同修上本税四に開実念仏念法念相者利法の物意新長実税裁法少々少位者が一部国土無三幕宗者利法大部国土小部三幕同士名が教右実税少宗長大聖阿弥陀仏力量温泉流変化調査者利法異部国土利不水道小法十無法羅網水味妙音利用百千十学同時仏さ門税音者開示念上念仏念法念相死心者利法国土上十両税武力将
Namo We will now have a Dharma message by Reverend Fujimoto.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can we hear okay? Okay, very good, very good. So today, along with our Shotsukihoyo memorial, we will have a atomic bomb memorial for the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki that occurred 75 years ago this month. When I was a student at the Institute of Buddhist Studies, IBS, Kusada Sensei was our director at that time, and he would have stories as he was in Hiroshima during the bombing, and talking about times when he would have to, not have to, but come down from the hillside into the town and assist to locate people and maybe digging through the rubble, along with others to help people to get to safety and things like this. So, when we look at the reporting, so many people, the estimates range from sometimes reaching as far as 300,000 people that were killed during those two bombings, and half of that number occurred during that actual day, and then another half subsequently, as weeks and a few months went on, suffering from repercussions of the bombing. So many things had to happen at that time, and when we would hear the stories from Kusada Sensei, it would become all the more real to understand the scope of that suffering, and certainly when you go to the memorial in Hiroshima to see the pictures of those so many people that were affected and injured, and the degree of injury that you would see kind of touches you for the rest of your life, basically. Just a couple of days ago, Friday, at the Buddhist Temple of Alameda, we had a funeral service, and the person, Mie Hasegawa, she was born in Alameda, but went to Japan and got married there and had her children there in Japan. And she was in Tokyo, so not one of these cities, but at the same time, Tokyo had their own bombings that were going on during World War II, and so in her own voice, so the video that she made 10 years ago was played, and so in her own voice, she was describing their life in Tokyo, and so we all had to sleep with our clothing on because we never knew when we would have to evacuate and have to hurry on to what would they be called, a bombing place of safety, right? So all the family would have to sleep with their clothing on, never knowing when that alarm would come and everyone had to evacuate. So again, to hear these stories and the effects of the war, it touches you all the more. So when we come to the temple, we're learning about the Buddhas, we're learning about awakening, to come to our own awakening, the historical Buddha became an enlightened being. So when we call him the Buddha, Buddha means an awakened person or an enlightened one. Sometimes we see in the book, the enlightened one, right? Yeah. So when Prince Siddhartha became Shakyamuni Buddha, he became a person who could truly see. And here we come and we acknowledge Amida Buddha, symbolically wisdom and compassion of an enlightened being. Okay? So knowledge is considered chishiki, vijnana, and more than knowledge is wisdom, chie or prajna. So we are encouraged to come to being able to see the world with prajna, through prajna. Okay? And knowledge is our usual way of seeing the world. This is standing in opposition, like I see the world. I like this, I don't like that, and it could be anyone. I like Lauren because he helps me to understand who's taking care of everything for the service before I even get here. So everyone has their assignments and it all works out. As soon as we come, everything is all set, from the hygiene to the temperature checks, the Oshoko station, all these things are taken care of. I don't like Sensei because he shows up too late, right? So this is another perspective that we have, and this is my perspective, and that whatever we are perceiving. So subject and object. And this is the usual way that we see things, okay? And another kind of different way is this scientific approach, and you kind of eliminate your own likes or dislikes in a more of an objective way, and classifications of this tree belongs to what family, what kind of habitats they live in. Animals can be broken down, what kind of families they live in, whether they're reptiles or mammals and things like this. And there's an observation and analysis, but still it's subject and object. Okay. So the Buddhist way of seeing things is a little bit different, and being beyond vijnana to prajna, beyond knowledge to wisdom. Okay? The subject which sees and the object which is seen become one. Okay? So there's no differentiation, there's no separation. So in Alameda, we've had this giant, very tall tree, kind of like your trees up front, but it's right by the fence, and just beyond the fence is a sidewalk on Park Street, and it would drop like a sticky resin. So right past the gate and to the first couple of parking spaces, this resin, sticky stuff would just drop out on certain times of the year. And we thought, because it was right by the gate, there's a smaller tree right there, but still pretty big, 1 foot in diameter, and kind of thought that was the tree that was a culprit, right? So I told him, I have a chainsaw. I'm going to cut that tree down, So I had planned this, and for a couple of weeks, and how long it would take, maybe a couple of hours, to chop it down and make it into log size and put it in the green bin, right? And get it taken away, get rid of this problem. Sometimes people would park there, and I would always know, so I wouldn't park in that first space because everything gets sticky. And one time someone had come to visit in a brand new car, convertible with the top down, white upholstery, right? And you think, oh, this poor guy, he's going to come back, he's going to get stuck to his seat. Not only it's going to be a mess, he's going to be stuck to the driver's seat, and it takes so much effort to clean up, and I know this is coming. So part of my plan, cut this tree down, get rid of the problem. And when the day came, and I was pretty much ready, had my work clothes on, and standing there by the tree and giving it one last look and looking up, and they're pretty healthy, and it's as if the tree is talking to me. not me. It's not sensei. It's not me. And so I'm looking around all the more. So maybe I better wait and they're going to evaluate the next tree that's bigger. And sure enough, if they have aphids up there that come at a certain time of year and they're spraying everything. This is what's so sticky. So luckily, I listened to the tree, right? And I didn't cut it down. And, we had a different way to be able to take care of the problem. And so maybe it's an example like this where you get into the life of this tree and you're able to hear another voice besides your own. I have a friend who in their backyard, I lived with him for close to a year, and they had a backyard Japanese garden, and so there's one big boulder, the size of this, right next to their maple tree, and the maple stem has started to grow right in the crack of the tree. There's no soil there, just wondering how it could grow. I said, wow, look at that. I said, hey, Donnie, you have let's call it the rock tree, right? So we called it the rock tree, and every season you take a picture of it, and it had a few of the maple leaves, and it's strong enough that it would change color during the changing of the season, drop its leaves during the summer, and re-emerge, after the winter season is over. It's just incredible. And you look at this tree, it seems like no nourishment, but coming to trying to live its life, right? And we've all seen this, maybe in the crack of a sidewalk, little tuft of grass, right? We see that, and this little bit of grass saying, let me touch the infinite. Let me live my life in this, trying as hard as it can. And for us to be able to see with wisdom is to recognize this life force in this other being struggling to live. Just like when we say the Butsu, let me touch Amida, let me touch and be a part of this infinite, this piece of grass, this branch of maple leaf. Everything is trying their best to grow. And so each of these things are a different type of example, a different way of being able to see that flower, that tree, that person. The tree is not just a tree or what type of tree, but you sense the roots taking in this nourishment, trying its hardest to live. All these leaves showing up, taking in nourishment from above. And so I'm telling you this story because today, as we reflect upon Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we want to go beyond just seeing the sadness of people struggling through a war time. Not just the numbers of so impressive, 300,000 people or whatever it may have been, and not only the reasons, not only looking at the evils of humanity, or America did this, or capitalism is a driving force, or not only these things, but we can see and become one with those people, and if we can become one with those people, then maybe it's my own skin that has a pattern of the kimono that was burned into my body. If we can become one with those people who were bombed, then maybe it's my eyes that saw that brilliant flash, and then I became blind and could never see again for the rest of my life. And then we enter the being of that person. We enter the pain of that person, and we enter the life of that person as me. This is truly seeing, truly knowing, and the subject and the object become one. So this is wisdom, awakened wisdom. But it's not yet complete, still not yet complete. Awakened wisdom unfolds as compassion. Where this wisdom of seeing and being one moves us, guides us, and alters our lives. How we think, how we see, how we act, how we react is changed after we can see with wisdom. compassion moves through us because of the wisdom that has touched us. So this is our path as Buddhists, as Butsu followers. We come to a new way of seeing, and it moves us to change. We're not the same anymore. Not just to come to this service or to recognize it annually or something like this, but no matter what we do, even tomorrow as we walk to the store or go into get our shopping cart, or if we're taking care of elders or young ones, no matter what we do, we are moved to have this compassion continuing to flow through us. This touching of wisdom, it's not like one aha moment. It comes, it might dissipate, but it comes. And the wisdom and the compassion, again, comes merging with us and showing itself. Merging with us and showing itself. And so we become a part of this process of wisdom unfolding as compassion. Amida reminds us of this. Butsu reminds us of this. To come in, Oshoko, coming to the temple. Each of these things remind us of this way of seeing, of this way to live our own lives. So I think this becomes very important. Thank you very much for letting me share these thoughts of Shotsuki and Atomic Bomb Memorial. Please join me in Gassho. We'll conclude the whole Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namo Amida.
Okay. And again, thank you. It's always special to come, and especially during the Shotsuki service, and to hear the names read, to see the family representatives coming up, and I get more and more of a sense of who belongs to who, as I recognize the names and the faces, and each of you that are able to come up, and I'm touched. I'm touched to be here and to come to be a part of this Enmanji Sangha. So thank you.
Thank you, Sensei, for your very inspirational message. Please stand for our closing gapa, which is Seiya on page 226. Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. This will conclude today's service. I would like to thank Reverend Fujimoto for being here today. I'm sorry you had to run into traffic today, Sensei. George Thao for bringing the kancho, Dr. Kent Matsuda for playing the organ, and the August Toban for the flowers and the offerings. If you have not yet done so, please feel free to come forward to offer incense. They're in the little cups there, and you can just put them in the incense burner and then put them in the wastebasket. There will be light refreshments served outside in the courtyard. So thank you everyone for attending today.